Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle. I'm the happiest musician. If you're watching this on YouTube, would you go ahead and click subscribe for me? And if you are listening to this in your podcast app of choice, make sure that you're subscribed to Crushing Classical, because in that way, um, of course, you always know when I drop a new episode, and it becomes easier for other people to find my channel and to learn from the fantastic guests I get on this podcast and maybe from me, and to become happier musicians themselves. Thank you so much. I think sometimes we are told to be consistent. We are told to consistently share content, share like videos, share visuals, share thoughts on social media, in our newsletters, on YouTube, on our podcasts, out in the world. And I have spoken to people who get a little intimidated about what content should I be sharing? How can I ever keep up with the demand? If I'm going to do a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter, if I'm going to start a channel, how do I fill that channel? What kind of content do I need to put up? Won't that be hard? And it can be. It sure can be. But the magic is the content never stops. You know, I've had my 5 Minute Read Maker channel over on YouTube for 7 or 8 years now, I think. And while there are certainly weeks that I don't post new content due to not having time, due to not having my brain in the right place, there is never a time when I am out of things to talk about. And that is just in the world of oboe reeds. It's so niche. It's so tiny. Like they're 72 millimeters long at most. They're tiny. And there is an infinity of things to talk about. And every time I have a conversation with somebody new, they will ask me a question. And that question becomes content. Every time I post a new post, someone pops into my inbox saying, but what about this? And suddenly there is new content. It's not that I have 8 years worth of different new ideas about oboe reed making. Like I'm just making the same reed over and over again every day. um, it is that every new conversation that I have gives me a new way to frame the topic, a new metaphor, a new approach, some new way to talk about it and to share it. And that's really what we're doing when we're creating content. It's not that you have to have a brand new idea for the world that has never before been thought before every week in your newsletter. It is that the things that are coming up for you live in your life are valuable things. And you can use the real life things that are happening in your real life. You can use real time conversations that are happening with real humans in the world. And you can use those as a way to re-describe your content, your magic. And as you're doing that, every time you make a new share, it adds something to your own understanding of your topic. And there is someone out there for whom that metaphor will really, really resonate. There is someone out there for whom that will be the thing that breaks it through for them. So, on this podcast, of course, I talk about portfolio careers for musicians all the time. I talk about how important it is for you to take agency in your own career, even if you are one of the lucky ones who has a job that pays you a full-time salary to do your thing. I never think that a job like that can allow for all of the creativity and all of the magic that is inside you. And so, why would you not also work to be visible with your own artistry, with your own uh, thought leadership, with your own take on how things are done? Like, if you are a teacher of your instrument, you probably have 20,000 little pieces of shtick on how to this, how to that, how to this, because you know that speaking the same words to person A and to person B will not get the same results from person A and person B, because those are two different people with different understandings of what those words mean, of how to translate those words into things to do in their body. It's never the case that you can deliver the same lecture in the exact same words with the exact same impact for this year's fall class and next year's fall class. Like, the world has changed since then, and you have changed since then, and the people in the class will have different reactions and different responses, and you will always need to adjust and adapt how you're talking about it. And that's a thing that you can do with your own content as well. Literally anytime someone responds to a piece of content, you respond back. You say, thank you for watching, thank you for reading, what a great question. And then the next week you talk about that. The content that you might create as a content creator is unlimited, because every day you have a new experience that can be made into content. And this is really what I'm talking about when I say start now and build your audience with who you are right now. Build your leadership with who you are right now. I was in a class, I was speaking with a group of music majors, and one of them raised their hand and said, but how do I dare to share my work, to share the work that I am composing, the work that I am like practicing doing? How do I dare to share it when I know it is not perfect yet, when I know it could be better, when I'm still working on it? How could I share a work in progress because it's not done? And this is such an important topic for musicians. We are trained to go into our practice room and to stay there behind the closed door until everything is perfect. And don't be coming out and making mistakes in public. Don't be letting the seams show, right? Don't let them see you sweat. It's got to be perfect before you show up. And the problem with that is, if you are 20 years old, you are not a finished product yet. I mean, heck, if you are 51 years old, you are not a finished product yet. There's always a little bit better that it could be if you polished it just a little bit longer. There's always a next level that eventually you may achieve. But meanwhile, right now, today, the best you can do is the best you can do. So share it. Like, let's put your work out in the world when it is as good as you can make it today, when it is sufficiently good, when it meets spec. What does that even mean? If you are sharing a sample of your playing, like, you don't want it to sound like you don't know how to play. So maybe you improve it until it sounds like you do know how to play. Maybe it's still not perfect. Maybe 5 performances from now, you will know it more deeply and you will have a different opinion about how it goes, and you will feel more comfortable and confident with it. But you're not going to get there to that 5th performance unless you dare to share the first performance, unless you dare to put the material out there, because that's how you learn. You can get a reaction. You can get a reaction back that says, wow, that was really lovely, but have you thought of this? And maybe you hadn't. And now that gives you a new piece of content, a new idea to keep improving the work that you're doing, a new approach for next time. This is how we keep growing as artists. This is how we keep growing our audiences, because the audience that is following you now is the audience that maybe someday will be buying your records, buying the music that you compose, commissioning you, hiring you, wanting to work with you, wanting to learn from you. The people who are following you now and seeing you be a human being in all of your own imperfect glory. These are the people who are going to be supporters, who are going to be your biggest fans going forward, who are going to be collaborators, who are going to be people that open doors for you to move forward with. What is my point? If you do not, at this moment, have a platform of visibility, an email list, a YouTube channel, a social media platform that you are using with some regularity, a Substack, I would encourage you to step into that. It is so valuable to you and to everyone around you to share the things that are happening in your life. It will make you a better person, and it will improve the world around you. Thank you so much for listening, for watching today. Let me know in the comments, if you're on YouTube, what you think about this. Let us know in the comments what your channel, what your platform of choice is. If you're listening to this on your podcast player, certainly subscribe. Show someone else. Share this with somebody. Take a screenshot and post it in your stories. Like, let's get the word out and make more musicians be creators who are creating audiences, who are creating experiences. Thank you so much for listening today. Have a great day.